out? Moo, 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 moo. Who let them cows out? Moo, 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 moo. Who let them cows out? Moo, 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 moo. Who let them cows out?
Hey everyone, welcome. It is Sunday again. How has everyone been this week? I'm always looking over at my chat room here to touch base with everybody. Super busy. Great. Good. Fine. Yay. I love hearing those reports. I got to tell you, it's been a slow sales week for me, but I know why. I totally know why. I have not been listing. I am still recovering from having the family here and getting over a cold and all this. Yeah, I'm making excuses. I just haven't been listing. So I've gotten a couple good sales, but that's only because I have a couple of good prices out there. For the most part, I've maybe been shipping out one, maybe two things a day. So not what I would like, but gosh, oh, isn't the weather on this end of the world right here? Weather was beautiful today. How is all your weather doing? How's back east bearing after that big storm that went through? You guys getting the snow plowed and dug out and still getting cold, windy, cold. Ugh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I hate cold. I can't do it. Just can't do it. Ugh. Snowing. I'm sure it'll be done soon. I just know it. It'll be done and it'll be warm summer weather before we know it, right? Think positive. The groundhog said, so has to be so. Has to be so. Awesome. I love that we are like all joined here from so many different places. It is so cool that we can all check in with one another and imagine how things are in a different part of the world. So welcome. I see some new faces in the chat, which is totally awesome. Glad you found it. What we do here is I kind of have, an order that I go in, but I have a place that you can go if anybody wants to submit topics or questions or ideas for the show that you want me to talk about. There is a form over on my website, and that is on the askthedanniapp.com link, which April will put up there in the chat room. There you go. And you can write in suggestions for the show, questions that you have, and I get to those. And I have a couple of those questions that came in this week. So I want to get to those right away. And let's see. Terry. Is Terry with us tonight? I didn't see. I can't look through the whole list right now. Terry asked about what are my thoughts on listing templates? Are they mobile friendly? What do we do? So I'm still a big fan of templates with some conditions. Obviously, you guys know I still use a template. And I think the thing that sets us apart on eBay as opposed to Amazon and some other places is the ability to brand our business, the ability to have our look, our store, our consistency. And consistency is the key word there. I do not like those sellers who are changing up their templates listing by listing, whatever's cutesy and a theme to go with what it is they're listing. I prefer consistency. I prefer to see the same template with that seller so that people that come in recognize the brand. And this is something that is used in big business and marketing and has been for years and years. If you look at big companies, a lot of times you start just seeing colors and certain design and it goes with that company even before you see their name. And I can't think of an example right off my head here. But branding is something that has worked for years and years and years. So I am a huge advocate of branding. As it relates to the mobile market, here's another thing you need to consider. How many of your customers are shopping mobile? I know from watching my traffic reports, the majority of my customers are still at their computers. They're still pulling up my listings through their PC. And I know that by looking at the browser used. You can see this with if they're using Firefox, Chrome, Internet Explorer. Those are PC browsers. But if you see some other things, I know the iPad uses Safari, and there's a category, I believe it just says other or iOS, and those are mobile devices. So you're going to want to check your mobile traffic and see, is your customer base heavily mobile? That may influence how you write up your listings. Now, there's some keys for writing your listings to be mobile friendly, even though you use a template. And you're going to want to check this. Just, I don't even have my phone. My phone's not anywhere near me. Take out your phone, pull up the eBay app, and go look at some of your listings and see what they look like. What you want to try to avoid is, well, first of all, some things you can do to make your listings more mobile friendly is put your pictures up at the top. Don't embed all your pictures down in the description, because people are probably not going to go look at those. And that goes for PC usage now too. People want to stay above the fold. They don't want to scroll down. They want to just see all that information up top. So have your pictures hosted in the eBay hosting and have them up top. You get 12 free. No reason not to use it. So you want this. You don't want flash and any fancy, fun stuff, I guess I call it, down in the description. Number one, it's going to slow down your load time even on the PC, but that's also stuff that's not going to come up on mobile. It's not mobile friendly. So if you use a template, keep it clean, keep it consistent. Don't use several different templates. Use the same template to brand yourself. If you want to look, keep that look. Make sure, you can check this on a mobile device, make sure people are not having to scroll over to see everything in your listing. And part of that is no centered text. Centered text is kind of becoming a no-no. I get the balance thing. I get the pleasing, but this is not the way the eye looks at things, and it's been proven through studies. You are way better off doing left align, meaning you have all your text starting over on the left side, and use bullet points. Bullet points are fantastic because then people tend to just find the information that they need right off the bat to make their buying decision. How about videos? I think videos are great where they apply inside of a listing. Now, there is some question because YouTube is doing away with the old embed code, which is what you need to embed your video into eBay. So stay tuned for some answers on that. Researching that now. Now, for me personally, I'm still getting the old embed code, so I haven't run into this problem, but I'm seeing several people are starting to have trouble with getting their videos embedded into the listings. But video is great if you have something that has some kind of animation, music, or a function that needs to be shown. Those are great ways to sell your item with video. Or if you have, you guys have probably heard of the arc spin, where they have the little spinning thing that you can use and twirl it around and look at all sides. Another great use for video. What is the best size of font for descriptions? I personally use an 18 point. I think that helps. And again, this is knowing your customer. Are you selling electronics and techie stuff that's a younger crowd that has good eyes still? Or are you selling antiques and collectibles that appeal to an older generation that may need the bigger font? You really have to kind of know, based on what you're selling, how your customer needs to see that. And again, a lot of people, it doesn't matter what font you put it, they've already blown up their computer screen, resolution to see it. So, but I use an 18. I think an 18 is really easy to see. I wouldn't go any smaller than 14. I just wouldn't go smaller than 14. That's my personal. Don't use multiple colors and multiple fonts in your description. Keep it clean. Keep it very easy to read. Don't go on and on and on with your terms of service. Try to pinpoint down just the main points and stress customer service, that you are there to make their experience 100% wonderful. And those are some ways you can definitely perk up your listing. Let's see. I had another question. Okay, so this goes in with our topic of the week, which is goals. Goals is the big discussion we're having over at the Appsters membership. We're working on business plans. We call it the Danni map. We're about halfway through, and everybody's kind of setting their goals and now starting to apply steps to get to those goals. And I've been doing this right along with my Appsters, and one of the things that I am really concentrating on this year is raising my ASP. And ASP is your average selling price. Now, it doesn't mean you're not going to sell some cheaper items, because that happens. You have to lower prices, or you start something at auction, doesn't go as high as you thought. So you're going to sell some lower price stuff. That's all fine and good. What I'm talking about is the average, your overall average, and raising that up to a level where you're consistently making money. Because I think we're all doing this so we can make money. Am I right? Is anybody just doing this for the fun of it? I mean, it is fun, but is everybody here like doing this to make money? I think my chat stopped scrolling because I'm not seeing any answers. Ka-ching! Yes, we want to hear the ka-ching. Yes, money, money, money. Money is not a bad thing. So for me, I have had much less time to devote to my actual eBay listing business because I'm working with the Appsters and I'm writing and I'm doing all this other stuff. So for me, I want to keep my sales up. I still want to have that $3,000 plus per month income coming in. So in order for me to do that, I have to raise my ASP. So my goal is $50 plus per item. It at least has to have that potential when I buy and list it. Now there's different ways that I can do this. It doesn't necessarily mean one item that's 50 plus. It can be a grouping of items that's either the same thing that I can multi-quantity list and just do the work one time and the overall profits are going to be that, or something that's so similar that the listing work is really, really easy. So those are kind of my two little judgments there. So I talked about this a little bit last week because my daughter was here last week while I was doing the show, and then I picked up my mom that many of you know, Bobby Bushy. I picked her up Monday morning, and we spent Monday and Tuesday literally going through every piece of unlisted inventory that I have and making decisions. Keep, yard sale. Keep, yard sale. And it was tough. It was tough. Because when I bought this stuff, I bought it because I knew I could sell it for what used to be my guideline was $20 plus. So this was not just all junk. This was like stuff that I was kind of attached to because I knew it would bring good money and I didn't want to lose money. I don't want to lose money. Who wants to lose money? Nobody wants to lose money. So they helped me make some really hard choices, and we had a few little battles, and I got called a hoarder a couple of times. Yes, my daughter did use the H word. But the difference between me and a hoarder is, like, I'm willing to let it go. I just want to get my money back out of it. But it was a tough process. It was really tough to narrow it down to just those things that I'm going to be able to get to and get listed and not feel overwhelmed by all the unlisted stuff, which is a mess that a lot of us get into. Who's going to confess that you have too much unlisted inventory? Let me see some hands raised. Anybody going to? Okay, good, good. All right. Admitting is the first step in solving the problem. I really, really get distressed when I see my fellow eBayers renting storage units for unlisted inventory. That really stresses me out because those things aren't cheap, number one. And number two, that's money, that's more money you're taking out of your profit margin every single month. You're adding to the cost of that stuff that you're storing. And unless you have stopped buying while you have this stuff unlisted, you are never going to empty that storage unit. I guarantee it. You're just going to keep filling it up and keep adding to that cost. So you have to look at costs and expenses versus profits. And this is where it gets a little tough. Exactly right, Stephen, that hoarders do not have the intention of selling the items. So I'm not a hoarder. We're not hoarders. We are enthusiastic eBay sourcers. That's what I call us. Because we all know the part of this business that is the most fun is the shopping. Am I right? The shopping is fun. And I have to confess that I just got back from Savers a little bit ago. But I was good. So back to the goals. So if we need to be in this business to make money, then we have to look at all aspects of that. And part of that is, are you buying stuff that's sitting around, not listed? Because that's actually taking away from anything that you get listed. It's taking away the profitability of your business. So it's something that the appsters are really, really working on. So for me, the thought process is I am putting stuff into the yard sale pile and I'm sorting and determining what to keep and what to get rid of and this has helped me a lot. Always keep in mind, there is always more stuff. Everybody say it after me. There is always more stuff. There is no reason to bring more stuff home if you're not going to get it listed. So one of the ways that I'm now justifying and being more picky when I'm out shopping, $50 plus. It's got to be worth $50 plus. The thing that's going to do for you too is lower your competition. Because the stuff that you can find for $1 or $2 and bring home and sell for 20 or 25 bucks, there's way more sellers finding that same stuff. You start being a little bit more picky and going for more expensive items, more expensive selling items, you're going to have less competition, more likelihood of your item coming up when somebody does a search. Make sense? Like if you guys got my newsletter this week, you saw the American Pickers are a really good example of this. How many of you watch that show and watch them put stuff back that you would have brought home? Because you're like, that'll sell. Exactly. They are very, very, very picky about what they bring back. And they stick with what they know they have the customer base for, a niche market. Will they buy a little of everything? Yes, but they're very particular about what kind of profit margins they make on that stuff. So you can really, really watch and learn from them on how to be disciplined in your sourcing and your picking. And I got to tell you, it's kind of fun to go out and be very disciplined about what is going to bring the money that you need to bring in your business. And I got to tell you, when you start listing more and more expensive stuff, when your phone goes ka-ching, then you know it's a $50 plus sale. It's worth your time. It's worth your effort. It's worth looking at your phone to see. You don't want to see a $10 sale come in. That's not very exciting. I mean, a sale is a sale, yeah. But now, how much is your time worth? Because now you've got to pack and ship and send that off. So that's why I kind of push for you guys to go for the bigger ASP, average selling price. And that's my big goal. So that was just, my thought. And having my mom and my daughter here to bounce things off of was really helpful. So if you have somebody you can bring in that can help you look up stuff as you're going through it, that's really helpful. And make yourself a big yard sale. Plan your own yard sale, get some of your money back, or donate, or take it to an auction house, but free yourself of the weight of all of that unlisted stuff, because you will never get it all listed. I will guarantee you. As long as you keep shopping, you will never get that all listed. And there's this fine line of, we need to be able to keep shopping because that's the fun part and that's the motivating part. So it's all this balance that you got to get to, and keep it fun, but keep it real. And things go in cycles too. I know I have stuff that I bought that is no longer the hot item that it was when I bought it. So that's another danger of keeping stuff that you don't get listed right away. And I want everybody to make big money. So there you go. But it's hard. I know, it's hard. Well, I ask my mom how often I was like, oh, but. But I'm going to have one killer yard sale. Anybody want to come to Vegas? Okay, I want to give a little moment here to the friends of the Danni app. Give them a little shout out. Outright.com. This is the prime season to be getting with Outright.com. Who likes doing taxes? Anybody? I'm waiting for somebody to say yes. I hate it. You guys know I hate numbers. Outright.com, though, makes it really, really easy for me. They figure out my 1099K. They do that hard part of putting that Schedule C together for me. Easy peasy. Easy peasy with Outright.com. So definitely give them a look. Free. It's free. Stamps.com. You guys know I'm a big fan of Stamps.com. I have the paid version. I know some of you have been having some trouble signing up with Stamps.com. So if you are having any issues signing up for the free eBay account, please send me an email. Danni@thedanniapp.com. I have a direct contact over to Stamps.com. I can help you get these problems solved. Shouldn't be having any problems getting that going. So also there's the rate guide is still available, and I think April has that link to put in the chat. Yeah, there you go. So Stamps.com, you guys know I do my shipping through Octane, and they use my Stamps.com account. So I get pulled up the cheapest way possible to ship whatever it is. I can use UPS and Stamp. I can't use UPS through Stamps.com, but the two work together in Octane, and so I just love my Stamps.com. If I got like a bill to mail and I need a stamp, I can go over to Stamps.com and print out a regular stamp and never have to go to the post office. Never. Then of course you guys know my love for Bubble Fast. And I know a lot of you took advantage of their recent promotions and sales. They did the pink bubble wrap on sale for Valentine's Day. I thought that was really cute. I like the pink bubble wrap because it's pink. It's that little extra touch you can give your customers. You guys know if you use bubblefast.com, use the code Danni. DANNI, and you get an extra 5% off. Now, on top of using the code and getting your extra 5% off, you also accumulate what they have is Bubble Bucks. And Bubble Bucks, the more you get your supplies from Bubble Fast, it's another little discount program, and all of a sudden you'll look and you have like $10, $20 in Bubble Bucks to spend and discount off your order as well. So really good place to get your shipping supplies. Yep, some things are a little more expensive. I think you've heard that over and over. Quality, gotta compare the quality, guys. You will use probably half the bubble wrap that you do with the cheaper products that are out there. Just give it a comparison. Definitely. Oh, and Martha got the green bubble from them, and it's all recycled. Yeah, they have lots of green products. They have something for everyone, and if they don't have it, they'll find it for you and let you know where to get it. They are sellers just like us. They are not this big, huge business that's out of touch. They're very in touch with us as small sellers. They understand us. They help serve our needs. I can't say enough good stuff about them. What size bubble do I use the most of? I use the small. I like the small bubble. I do have some of the large bubble, but I don't use it very often. I find the large bubble only works well when you have a piece that's, a large piece, because you have gaps in there. And if you have a small piece and you use the large bubble, you're more likely to get gaps which don't protect your product. So I definitely use the small bubbles. I like the small bubbles. Okay, who's ready for some scores? Scores! So we do this every week. We run a thread over on the Facebook group. If anybody's not over on the Facebook group, it's the Danni app. And we're running these fun threads every day now. I hope you guys are liking that. Coming up with ways to promote our listings and look at each other's fun stuff. But on Sundays particularly, we do the scores of the week. And these are items that you bought that sold for some crazy high price. You never would have dreamed it would have sold for that. So let's start. Jane bought a nativity set. She bought it for $2.99. I'm assuming she got it from a thrift store. Oh, wow. It's item number 3905 2906 6454. You guys over there yet? This is from Midwest Cannon Falls. And it sold for $100. Gotta love that. $2.99 purchase turned into $100. I'm not looking at the listing. If you guys, somebody tell me, when did this sell? Did this sell this week? A nativity set in February. List the Christmas stuff, guys. Don't put it off. If you bought it, you got it in a good deal, sell it. People are still buying. There's collectors that still buy this stuff. It's crazy, I know. Don't sock that stuff away for a year. Sell it. All right, Kathy. Kathy bought a vintage Mexican pottery plate for 50 cents. Item number 1409 0990 0491. Oh, Osaka. Osaka is that's a good keyword there. She sold this plate for $49.95. 50 cents turned into $50. Love it. You can make a good living turning 50-cent items into $50, guys. Yeah. So a lot of people think of things from Mexico, pottery and such, as not being worth very much, dare I say cheap. But I'm telling you, there is a huge, huge collector base and customer base for these type of products. Especially when you can pin down different things like Osaka's good, as this one was. Talavera is another good one. Tonala is another good one. If you can pinpoint some of these well-known places from Mexico that these things come from, this stuff is highly sought after. There are expensive pieces from artists down there that we find all the time in the thrift stores and yard sales and such. Really good to resell. I've always keyed in on the Mexican pottery because it does quite well. Okay, I love this one. So Kay, she bought, okay, I'm trying to understand this. She bought a shoe tree for $10. Okay, I got it. She bought a shoe tree for $10, and this pair of men's loafers came with it. Item number 4004 0510 3793. Anybody want to take a guess what that best offer was that she took? Because I know you can't see it if you're on the .com. What was her? Anybody going to tell me what her original list price was? I don't have that on my sheet. Okay, so she had them listed for 250. She sold them for $175. $175. And I believe she sold this. Okay, that's a lot of S words. She sold the shoe tree separately. And I don't know how much she got for that. Way to go, Kay. Way to go. So what were these? These were Rayburn. They were Italian slip-ons. Oh, Santoni. Here we go, Santoni. Yeah, there's some crazy good shoes out there. Okay, her original price was $429.97. So you can see this is where not setting your automatic declines too low comes in handy, because most people would think, gosh, that's less than half price that you took. But when you pay $10 for something and you get an offer for $175, is there anybody in my chat room that would turn that down? Let's see. Anybody brave enough to say they would turn down a $175 offer on a $10 investment? Yeah, I didn't think so. I didn't think so. And you just made one really, really happy buyer who's probably coming back. So that could go a long ways towards future sales. Very nice. Very nice. Amy from the group bought this cruise book for $2.99 at a thrift store. Item number 3507 0837 8775. 3507 0837 8775. I like this profit margin too. Anybody see what that sold for? $162.49. $162.49 on a $299 purchase. Awesome. Awesome. This is military, right? So I'm looking here. I know I'm so bad I didn't go over and look at these before the show. April picks out her favorites from that thread that we run. So it's kind of a surprise to me what we're going to talk about on the show. So 1990, 1991 final deployment U.S. Navy. So this really wasn't even that old. Yeah, so Navy stuff. Navy, military, all that stuff does really well. You have a lot of people that go for that kind of stuff. Oh, before I go into the next score, I wanted to, since we're talking about a cruise, how many of you are going to go on the eBay 2014 cruise? Anybody signed up yet? Have you seen the words about that going around Facebook? Kind of something new, something fun. And we have Joyce in the chat room who's kind of leading it up. And we got a link for you right there with all the info. This is a really, really good deal, you guys. I believe it's like $339 per person for a 5-day cruise. We're going to go out of New Orleans to Cozumel, Mexico, I believe I saw. Yeah. I've never been on a cruise. This is my first. I am all signed up. My cabin is booked. They don't call them rooms, they call them cabins. Cabin is booked. I'm excited. I have never been on a cruise, and we are going to drive to New Orleans and spend the day before and the day after kind of exploring that city. And I got some friends there. Really, really going to be a lot of fun. Yeah. February 8th, 2014. You guys, talk about setting goals. You have plenty of time to plan. This is a year away. You put a $50 deposit down now. Saves your spot. And now you've got a goal. You've got it in writing. You've got it set. You know what you need to do to get to that goal. Perfect way to get yourself on a cruise. And what better cruise to go on than an eBay cruise? The 2 days that we're at sea are going to be filled with speakers and workshops, and then the rest of it's going to be all, your fun cruise stuff. Going to Cozumel, Mexico. I was already asking my husband, gee, how much stuff can we bring back? So you got plenty of time to get all your unlisted stuff done so you're not guilty bringing stuff back from the cruise that you want to list. Yeah, we're going to do some sourcing for sure. For sure. Yeah, well, there's been rumors that EOL is going to be in New Orleans, but nothing set yet. Just rumors, just the rumor mill. So this is going to be on the Carnival Elation. Now I know Carnival Cruise had a little bit of a bad experience lately, and this is how I look at that, guys. They just had this really, really bad thing happen based on an engine problem. Do you think for 1 second they are not scouring through every ship that they have now to make sure this does not happen again? That's what I'm thinking. Just like when an airlines has an incident and they go and pull and go through every plane they have, these companies cannot afford to have these things happen twice. They'd be out of business. So I'm pretty sure that we're not going to have any problems on this cruise. They're going to have these things working tip-top condition, because that would pretty much put Carnival out of business to have lightning strike twice. Yeah, it was just a massive engine fire. No problem. Come on, guys. Stuff happens. I just bet that they'll because of this, they're going to have something else in place to deal with this kind of an issue in the future, for sure. I'm not scared. I'm not scared. Okay. Back to the scores. I'm just going to share one more. This was one of mine. This was just it was just a wooden shelf, but it was gold and shaped kind of like a shell. I bought it for $10 at Savers, and it's item number. Oh, I didn't put my own item number. Oh boy, I messed up. April, do you have the item number for that? Because I don't have it. That's not the right. Is that the right thing? Okay, maybe that's the right thing. Somebody tell me if that's a shell. There it is. All right, she's got it. 2211-7845-9254. Oh, my sheet's all messed up. So this is a really good example of writing up a listing in such a way that you entice the buyer by what we like to call selling the sizzle, not the steak. This is a wood wall shelf. You can probably go to Ross or TJ Maxx or something like that and find this shelf for 20, 30 bucks new. But you'll see what I did here. Now, I call this one vintage because there's no way to say whether or not this thing is old or new or whatever. It looked vintage. It had a vintage look. It has the Italian Florentine look. Did it come from Italy? I don't know. But you can see from my pictures, the person buying this knows exactly what they're getting. They can see it whether or not it is actually from Italy. I showed everything about that shelf for them to make their decision. This also could have been put as Hollywood Regency, which is a really, really hot decorating style right now with the gold and the, dare I say, gaudy look to it. So if you guys find this kind of stuff, go ahead and sell it based on its eye appeal and its good points that you can, put in your title and your description, and just take really good pictures. You're not going to get in trouble that way because the buyer can see exactly what they're getting. The package shows up. It's exactly, okay, it did say made in Italy, so I was safe on that one. But even if it hadn't, I'd have called it an Italian gold gilt, just like I did. Yep. Yep. All right. So just I want you guys to keep in mind, because I see a lot of talk and apprehension about titling things because you're looking for these absolute, this is what it is kind of answers. And it really, you have to look at what is the customer calling it. What is the customer with the money calling it? And this is where doing a little bit of research and looking, does it meet the criteria? Yes. So it doesn't sometimes matter what the exact scientific name of something is. It matters what the customer is calling that piece. And different customers call different things different things. So you want to go for who's spending the most money on that thing kind of mentality. Who's opening their wallet and spending, spending, spending. That's the customers we want. Yepper yuppers. Yeah, so there's a lot of apprehension about misrepresenting something, but I can tell you on vintage, one-of-a-kind type items, now I'm not saying just like take something and, ooh, this is Italian. No, can't do that. But if all indications are that it's very similar to those items that sold that way, things for the most part match, and that's how things are selling, then call it that. Call it that, take good pictures, because somebody who's looking at some very, very particular part of it is going to know whether or not it's accurate. But for the common person who's just shopping on eye appeal, which is what most people are doing, it's going to sell and they're going to be happy. I know I've bought stuff that isn't probably exactly what somebody said it was, and I've still been perfectly happy. Oh, I'm sorry. I took $75. I took $75 on that because it was going to Idaho. So the shipping wasn't too bad, and I only paid $10 for it, so that was good enough profit for me. Yep. All right. Yeah, I'm happy with that score. Totally happy. Although I have to confess, I would have put that up on my wall because I kind of, it was 9 pounds. It was 9 pounds shipped. Yep. I did go parcel select with it. I did go parcel select. That was the, I kind of like toyed. It was oversized for priority, so I couldn't go priority, and I was going to go between UPS and parcel select because it was wood and less liable to be damaged. I went parcel select because I got it out yesterday and it started being processed, as opposed to having to wait till Tuesday for UPS to come pick it up. So there was that days factor in there that I thought it was better to go parcel select. Yeah, I love selling heavy items. You guys know me. Because there's less competition, because so many of you don't want to ship that big stuff, and usually it's bigger, heavier stuff that brings bigger, heavier prices. Yeah. All right, and speaking of stuff. All right, so many of you know Savers runs their holiday sales. So tomorrow is their President's Day sale. 50% off clothing, shoes, accessories, and bed and bath. Well, if you are a Savers Club Card member, they have the sale today for you. So, of course, I needed some clothes for the family, so it was a good justification to go to Savers, right? No problem there. I only went to one. Went with the whole family. My kids are so cute because they have these little, they have the little rolling kind of basket carts. And so my kids each get one of those for themselves, and they each have $5 that they get to spend while we go shopping. So they were just going up and down and playing crash, demolition derby with their carts against each other. And I kept saying, watch out for people, watch out for people. So what I got at Savers today, mostly clothes for the family, pajamas for the kids, some pants for the husband, a tuxedo jacket for the cruise for the husband. I got some garden statues for me. I'm always like putting cutesy stuff out in my garden, so I got those for me. I only got one thing for regular resale. So I just couldn't pass this up. I think this is a 50 plus item. It's wood, it's carved, and it is signed, which I haven't, done any research yet, but it's a signed piece, and you can see. Now, of course, this wasn't 50% off, but you guys do know that I got a discount, right? Because I took in a bag for donation, so anything that wasn't 50% off was 20% off. So I still got a discount on that. So I basically paid $8 for him, and he's kind of neat. I think he's vintage. Got to do my homework, but definitely a 50 plus piece. So I'm good there. Kept him within my criteria. Now, my weakness is plush. I love plush. I love shipping plush. I love plush. But just like the pickers do, I have to be picky when I'm buying plush. Was there a whole bunch of plush there that would sell for 20 plus? Absolutely. There was a lot of stuff I left on the shelf. So I tried to pick out pieces that I thought would bring the 50 plus. So we've got a 1999 Pink Panther, who I looked up, and he's going for about 40 bucks. So I got close enough to be good. And you can see, oops, I got 20% off of the $4. So, you know, he was close to $3 for me. And Disney, you know my thoughts on Disney plush. And this is Bullseye from Toy Story. So he's a horse, very desirable. He's got his Disneyland original tag on there. He came from the theme park. And he was, again, $3.99 minus 20%. So I'll be asking 50 bucks for him. Let's see. So we're in teddy bear season, guys. It's teddy bear season. We just had Valentine's Day, of course. Now we got Easter coming up. Good teddy bear time. We also have Mother's Day, Father's Day. People buy teddy bears. This is a Dakin. Dakin is a very good brand, or is it Dakin? I may be saying it wrong. He's a 2005 model, but Dakin, however you want to say it, these sell very well. They're very high quality plush. He probably won't bring quite 50, but he's going to bring in the 30 to 40 range, that's still acceptable for me on a $3 purchase. So, ta-da. Okay. Now, I did buy one that's a dud as far as my goals are concerned. So this is a penguin from SeaWorld, and he's got his SeaWorld tag. Don't know if you guys can see that. There we go. So normally theme park plush sells really well, but I was surprised to find this guy's only going for about $15. So I will not spend time listing this $15 guy. But just so happens I have some other SeaWorld plush. I have some dolphins. I will bundle it together. I will make sure that it is a $50 listing. I know, he's so cool. Who wouldn't pick him up? He's a cool penguin. But yeah, he's not worth that much. So, so yeah, I'm gonna team him up with another SeaWorld plush, or if you find another penguin, something that makes him desirable and adds the value and adds to the listing. So lesson learned. You're not always going to bring home, even when you're going for the $50 plus, you're still going to bring some stuff home that's not going to reach that. There's other ways around it. All right, let's see what else I got here. Okay. I could not find another pair of these listed. These are Kermit the Frog slippers. They're used, but lightly. They're not too bad. And you guys see my candle holding wood card boy. How cool is that? Fisk tires. Awesome. Thanks, guys. This saved me some time and research. Thank you, Eileen. All right. So I love these novelty slippers. Love them. My husband actually wears slippers around for the kids. I forget what his are right now. I think he's got bears or something. But I'm definitely listing these for 50 bucks because there's not another pair like them out there. Kermit the Frog, always popular, good size, men's size, good stuff. And I paid, what did I pay for these? Not much. $2.50, guys. I paid $2.50. And then, right next to those on the shelf were Panda Bear slippers, new with the tags. And again on these, I spent, now they have these because they're new with tags. They had them priced at $9.99, but they were half off, so I paid $5. Brand spankin' new. My husband just popped into the chat room. So I'm also going to ask 50 bucks for these. Novelty slippers. Novelty slippers do great, guys. So another way around, just having to have something that always sells for $50, you can have multiples of something. Yeah, my desk is kind of piled with stuff on show day. So I have 6 pairs of these. These are brand spanking new Angry Bird. They're supposed to squeak. I can't get them to squeak in the package. Angry Bird slippers that are still selling for 20, 25 bucks a piece. I have 6 pairs. One listing, 6 pairs times 25 bucks. I'm still well within my profit margins that I want to be at. All right. Same with these guys. I've got 3 of these King Kong, the original plush. Pretty ugly if you ask me. But they're selling for $30, $32 a piece. One listing. I've got 3 of them. Ka-ching. So we're well within the money there. All right. I'm a big Disney fan, and I talked about this a while back about Vinylmation. And some of you may not know what Vinylmation is, so I wanted to show you. I actually bought these last year and sold a few, and I don't know how these guys ended up not listed, but this is what a Vinylmation looks like. They're vinyl, of course. They are Disney. Usually the better ones are signed on the bottom by their different designers that do the different designs. This one is Lisa Badine, I want to say. Then I have Randy Noble is on this one. So there's different ones, and there's different series, and it's one of those really, really highly collectible things. Some of these things, you guys, are going for thousands of dollars. So always be on the lookout for Disney Vinylmation. I will probably put these 3 in a lot together because any one of these 3 is worth, that much by itself. But even if I was going to list them individually, it still falls within my guidelines because it's one listing, sell similar, change up just a little bit for each individual one. So it'll go under my $50 criteria and still be very profitable for me time-wise. See, I'm starting to measure profit by time. Those who are part of the Danni Appsters know one of my big, big nagging mantras. What is it, you guys? What am I always saying? I know you guys are out there. There you go. See, they know. Time is money. Are you guys worth $7 an hour? Are you worth $70 an hour? You get to name that price. You get to decide what your time is worth. I don't want to see you guys working and not getting the value for what you're putting into it. Yes, that's my other one, as my husband's chiming in there in the chat. You can't go broke making a profit either. So if you get a best offer on something that isn't quite what you wanted for the item, but you are still making a really good profit, take the money and run, reinvest it into something else, keep turning that money, doubling that money, tripling that money, and then you're always going to be making money. Yes. Love it. Angela says, I'd rather spend $4 on a vintage item that can sell for $70. I agree. We want to go. It doesn't mean you're never going to list anything in the less expensive price range. It just means that if you're targeting those higher priced items, most of your sales then are going to be higher priced items with just kind of some what we call loss leaders thrown in. I'm starting some auctions tonight, starting at $9.95. They very well may sell at that $9.95. So do they have the potential of going to $50? Sure, if the right person came along and got a little bidding war going, but I'm really using them to pull in traffic to my other listings. So always be looking for those things too that you can start at that lower price on an auction because that pulls in traffic for you too. Okay, so that was fun, shopping with the family. Now I'm going to have to go look up. Did anybody go look up my Fisk Tires guy? What does he sell for? Am I going to get my 50 bucks? How do I ship my plush? I ship my plush in the poly bags that I get from Bubble Fast. Now, I don't put them in a box. I bag them. I will bubble wrap them if they are something that has like a plastic eye or something that could get scratched or dented. But for the most part, they get tissued and put in a poly envelope and sent on their way. Even the great big stuff. There's great big poly bags that work really good. Oh, good. You found one for 60 bucks. Sold. Yay. Awesome. No, it's the white. It's the white. I think he calls them white unlined poly envelopes. Those are, yeah, I get them from Bubble Fast. Scrapbook of newspaper clipping from 47 through 53. What do you mean, Eileen? What are you referring to there? You're referring to the Fisk tire guy? See, the pickers would like him then if he has to do with tires. Do I use poly bags on a hard-packed stuffed animal? Not sure what you mean by a hard-packed stuffed animal. If it's a stuffed animal that can't get broken, yep, I use a poly. You betcha. Cool. Yep, I would ship your Garfield in a poly bag. Absolutely. And if you have an animal that is like even bigger than the poly bags will hold, big, large kitchen trash bags, I would double those up because they're not quite as durable as the poly bags, but you can use that too. Absolutely. Yep. And I bubble wrap over plastic eyes. You know, you can bubble wrap over just the head. Yep. Ways to do it. I don't know if Salvation Army or Goodwill are having sales tomorrow. I have not heard anything. Very possible. Yep. And you know what? Every store is different, so you're going to have to check, with your local store on that. Yeah. So we were talking about the cruise, which is one event happening this year, and I got some notes here. We got some other stuff coming up too I wanted to mention. Anybody signed up to go to the TESS conference down in Tucson next month? Who's joining me down there? That's going to be on March 23rd. Tucson's really easy to get to, guys. Their airport is probably one of the easiest to navigate in the country. The venue for the event is very close to the airport as well, so really easy to get around. Yeah. Oh, Susan, you're not allowed to go shopping right now. Yeah, I feel your pain. I'm really not either. But, I was in Savers anyway, so I was good. I was very good, though. Yes. You need to list, not travel. Well, sometimes the traveling can be fun. Sometimes it can be fun. So the TESS conference, you're going to have, of course, I will be speaking down there. And we have Griff and eBay Andy and Sharon Ware and Sally Milo, who kind of stays in the background on all this, bless her heart, but she's phenomenal. She has designed the logo you see here for the show. She designed my store template. She is awesome. Love Sally. She is putting this whole thing together and just doing a phenomenal job. It is going to be a great event. There's going to be a dinner the night before. And this is my old hometown, guys. I know all the places to shop. I know the estate sale companies. I know the auction houses. I'm putting together some before and after events. So if you are planning to go, try to get there a day early or stay a day later. We'll have some fun stuff planned. Still kind of researching, figuring out what the best stuff to do, but definitely going to do some sourcing workshops before and after the event because I get to stay with Mom for free, so it's an easy trip for me. We're going to have eBay radio party June 19th and 20th. The dates were set. We'll be at Bally's here in Las Vegas. And again, this is my hometown. So if you guys want to come up early or stay after, I'm putting together some sourcing workshops and some fun stuff here as well. Of course, if you are here on the weekend, I can take you to an auction, estate sales, yard sailing, all kinds of fun stuff. Absolutely. And anytime any of you are going to be in Vegas, let me know, because I will put something fun together for us. I love taking others shopping. All right. And then, of course, EOL, we do not know the dates yet. We do not know the locations yet, but I assure you, I will let you know as soon as they tell us. But start kind of putting your travel plans in. I think these types of events are really important to pick out at least one to go to every year. Reason being, it gets you pumped up. It gets you motivated. It takes you out of the day-to-day grind of, listing and packing and shipping and picture taking, and get you out with real people. You can learn a thing or two, no matter where you go, and it gets you back and gets you making more money in the long run. Absolutely. All right, guys, that's it. We're at the top of the hour. Thank you for being here. Look forward to seeing you over on the Facebook group during the week. Look forward to seeing your crazy good scores, and we will talk to you then. Bye-bye.